The echo of the event still vibrated in the air, a constant hum in the stillness. Gone, all gone. Buildings stood, hollowed eyes staring into the emptiness. Wind howled through concrete canyons, a mournful dirge for a city that once pulsed with life. I walked on, each step heavy with the truth. I was alone. Days blurred into each other. The sun, a fiery orb in the vast emptiness, marked the passage of time. Hunger gnawed at my belly, a constant companion. I scavenged, hope a flickering flame in the desolate landscape. Then a glint in the rubble, a can, food. A surge of triumph, small but potent, surged through me. The silence was the worst. It pressed in, suffocating, amplifying the absence of human sounds. No laughter, no shouts, no comforting murmur of conversation. Just the wind, whistling through broken windows, a constant reminder of the world that was no more. I yearned for a voice, a touch, anything to break the crushing solitude. Loneliness was a physical weight, pressing down on me, threatening to crush me. I missed the warmth of companionship, the comfort of shared laughter and tears. Memories flickered, taunting me with images of faces I would never see again, voices I would never hear. Despair threatened to engulf me. Section 5. A flicker of ingenuity. Survival became my sole purpose. I learned to adapt, to make do with what I could salvage. An old book on edible plants became my Bible. An abandoned hardware store, my treasure trove. I built a fire, the flames a beacon of defiance in the encroaching darkness. I would survive. I had to. Section 6. The shelter of memories. Nights were the hardest. I sought refuge in memories. Section 7. Unexpected visitor. A rustle in the debris. A flash of movement. My heart pounded. Fear a cold knot in my stomach. I was not alone. I grabbed the makeshift weapon I had fashioned from a piece of metal pipe. A stray dog, emaciated but alert, stood cautiously at the edge of the light. It whined, a low, mournful sound that mirrored my own loneliness. I tossed it a scrap of food, my hand trembling. Section 8. A glimmer of hope. The dog, which I named Hope, became my companion. We scavenged together, shared my meager meals. Its presence, though silent, eased the crushing weight of solitude. Hope's unwavering devotion, its simple joy in my presence, rekindled a flicker of hope within me. We were survivors, two beings clinging to life in a world that had crumbled around us. Section 9. To survive another dawn. The sun, a promise of a new day, broke over the horizon. The struggle for survival continued, but it was a struggle now imbued with a glimmer of hope. As long as we had each other, Hope and I, we could face whatever lay ahead. We would survive another sunrise, and another, clinging to the belief that even in the ashes, life, in some form, would find a way. Section 10. The search for others. Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Hope and I grew stronger. We ventured further from our makeshift shelter, searching for any signs of other survivors. The city, once bustling with life, was now a labyrinth of silence and shadows. But we pressed on, driven by the hope that we were not the last. Every corner we turned, every building we explored, brought with it a mix of anticipation and dread. The silence was both a friend and an enemy, a canvas upon which our fears and hopes were painted. We discovered remnants of lives once lived, photographs, toys, journals. each a silent testament to the people who once called this place home. These artifacts became our compass, guiding us through the desolation. Then, one fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, we heard it, a faint, almost imperceptible sound, a voice, distant yet unmistakable. Our hearts raced as we followed the sound, navigating through the maze of debris and memories. Our search was no longer just a quest for survival. It was a mission to reconnect, to rebuild, to find the fragments of humanity that still remained. And with each step, we carried the hope that we were not alone, that somewhere out there, others were searching too. The journey was far from over, but for the first time in a long while, we felt a renewed sense of purpose. The search for others had begun, and with it the promise of a new beginning. Section 11. The Encounter. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, we heard it. A distant voice, faint but unmistakable. My heart raced as we followed the sound, hope leading the way. And then, in the dim light, we saw them. A group of survivors huddled around a fire. We were not alone. The sight was surreal. Faces illuminated by the flickering flames, eyes filled with stories of their own struggles and triumphs. There was a moment of hesitation, a shared look of disbelief and cautious optimism. Slowly we approached, and as we did, the tension melted away. It was as if a silent agreement passed between us, an unspoken understanding that from this moment forward, we were bound by our shared humanity. Conversations sparked, voices that had been silenced by isolation now intertwined in a symphony of relief and hope. We exchanged stories, shared resources, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, we laughed. The firelight danced on our faces, casting away the shadows of despair. In that circle, we found more than just companionship. We found a new beginning. The night stretched on, but the weight of solitude had lifted. Together, we were stronger, and the journey ahead seemed less daunting. As the first light of dawn began to break, we knew that this encounter was more than a chance meeting. It was a turning point. We were no longer just survivors. We were a community, united by the promise of a brighter future. The encounter had reignited our spirits, and with renewed determination, we prepared to face whatever lay ahead. The road would be long, but now we had each other. The days that followed were a blur of activity. Together with the other survivors, we began to rebuild. Every brick laid, every seed planted, was a testament to our collective will to not just survive, but to thrive. We shared stories, resources, and hope. The city, though scarred and broken, became a place of refuge and renewal. It was incredible how quickly we adapted, how our individual strengths meshed into a cohesive force for rebuilding. The sound of hammers and saws replaced the haunting silence, and the laughter of children echoed through the streets once more. Gardens sprouted in abandoned lots, and makeshift schools and clinics rose from the rubble. We were no longer just surviving. We were living. Each day brought new challenges, but also new reasons to celebrate. The bonds we formed became the foundation of our new community, stronger than any structure we could build. In this reclaimed city, we found not just shelter, but a sense of purpose. Together, we had turned despair into hope, isolation into unity. And as we stood side by side, the future, once uncertain, now seemed filled with endless possibilities. The journey ahead would still be fraught with challenges, but now we faced it not as scattered survivors, but as a united community, ready to rebuild our world, one day at a time. But the world outside our small community was still dangerous. We faced threats from wild animals, harsh weather, and the ever-present scarcity of resources. The nights were long and often filled with the sounds of distant howls or the crashing of a storm. Each day was a test of our resilience and our ability to adapt. But together, we were stronger. We faced each challenge head-on, determined to carve out a new life in this changed world. We organized patrols to keep the wild animals at bay, built stronger shelters to withstand the harsh weather, and worked tirelessly to find and cultivate new sources of food and water. Our unity became our greatest strength, turning every obstacle into a stepping stone for our renewed existence. Despite the constant struggle, there were moments of triumph that reminded us why we persevered. A new crop successfully harvested, a new shelter built, or simply a day without conflict. Each small victory brought us closer together and fortified our sense of community. In this unforgiving world, we learned to rely on each other like never before. The bonds we formed grew deeper, and our collective spirit shone brighter. We were no longer just a group of survivors. We were a family, bound by our shared experiences and our unwavering hope for a better tomorrow. The journey was far from over, but with each passing day, we grew more confident in our ability to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, we would continue to rebuild, to thrive, and to find joy in the simple moments of life. Our community was our sanctuary, and our unity was our strength. And as long as we had each other, we knew we could face any challenge that came our way. As time passed, our community grew. We found more survivors, each bringing their own skills and stories. The city, once a symbol of desolation, became a beacon of hope. From the ashes of the old world, we built something new, something resilient. The laughter of children echoed through the streets, and the hum of daily life returned, filling the air with a sense of normalcy we had almost forgotten. Every sunrise brought a new beginning, a fresh start. We planted gardens where rubble once lay, transforming barren spaces into lush green oases. Our efforts bore fruit, quite literally, as we harvested the bounty of our hard work. The city was no longer just a place to survive. It was a place to live, to dream, and to thrive. The bonds we formed grew even stronger, knitting us together into an unbreakable tapestry of humanity. We shared meals, stories, and dreams, finding solace in our collective effort to rebuild. The scars of the past remained, but they were now reminders of how far we had come and how much we had overcome. As the sun rose each day, casting its golden light over our rejuvenated city, we were reminded that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light. Hope had found a home in our hearts, and it guided us forward, one day at a time. Our journey was far from over, but with each step, we moved closer to the future we had envisioned. A future filled with promise, unity, and endless possibilities. In this new dawn, we found not just survival, but a reason to celebrate life in all its forms. Our community stood as a testament to the strength of the human spirit, proving that together we could overcome anything. And as long as the sun continued to rise, so too would our hope, shining ever brighter with each new day. Looking back on those early days, I am filled with a sense of awe. We had faced unimaginable challenges, but we had also discovered the strength of the human spirit. Hope, my loyal companion, had been my guiding light. And together, we had found a way to not just survive, but to thrive. We remember the emptiness that once filled our streets, the silent whispers of a past life. But through perseverance and unity, we transformed despair into determination. Each brick we laid, each seed we planted, was a testament to our resilience. In the quiet moments when the world seemed still, we reflected on our journey, the faces we had lost, the battles we had fought, and the triumphs we had achieved. Every scar told a story of survival, every smile a story of hope. As I stand here today, amidst the laughter and the life that now fills our community, I am reminded of the incredible journey we have undertaken. Our city, once a symbol of desolation, now stands as a beacon of hope and human spirit. We have learned that together we are stronger. Together we can overcome anything. And as we move forward, we carry the lessons of the past with us, forging a future filled with endless possibilities. The journey continues, but with hope as our guide, we face it with courage and confidence. Here's to the strength of the human spirit, to the power of unity, and to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Our journey is far from over. Each day brings new challenges and new opportunities. But with hope by my side and our community around us, I am confident that we can face whatever comes our way. The world may have changed, but our spirit remains unbroken. We will continue to search for others, to rebuild, and to find joy in the simple moments. Every sunrise is a reminder of our resilience. Each step forward a testament to our determination. This is our story, and it is far from over. We are the architects of our future, the keepers of our dreams, and the bearers of hope. Together, we will build a world that reflects the strength of the human spirit. As we stand on the brink of a new chapter, we carry with us the lessons of the past and the promise of tomorrow. The journey continues, and with hope as our guide, we embrace the endless possibilities that lie ahead.